Meet Hasnain. He's a 24-year-old living in Karachi, Pakistan. He's working the startup life, doing 60-hour work weeks. One day he's driving home from work when he gets into a serious car accident. His car is severely damaged, doesn't know what to do with it in the moment, so he searches a towing service on Google and they drop the car off at his uncle's place nearby. He asks his family and friends if they know of a good mechanic who can fix his car. They recommend some shops, but also gave him some warnings. Purchase any parts yourself, as mechanics may charge you for an expensive component, but install a cheap one instead. And make sure there are other workshops near your mechanic, as not everyone can fix every issue. He spoke to 5 or 6 before settling on one conveniently located near his office so he could keep tabs on the progress. The workshop gave him a list of parts that were scribbled on a piece of paper. It was very unintelligible. He'd been warned to do this part himself, so he went to central markets to purchase these parts. There was a lot of back and forth involved. There were multiple brands available of the same part in the market, and something which cost $5 also had a $15 variant available. He had to decide what to buy based on the balance between quality and his budget. Every time he would bring parts to his mechanic, the mechanic would reject some because they weren't the right fit. This was something he'd never mentioned before. It took 6 weeks from his accident till the work finally began. Now, to get an update, he had to travel during his lunch hour by rickshaw to see the mechanic, pay for work completed, buy any additional parts, and then return by rickshaw back to work. This entire process took an additional 4 months. And when Hasnain went to pick up his car, the newly installed windscreen had a crack in it, and the car was rattling like it had never before. He decided that getting the windscreen replaced was not worth the hassle, and the mechanic assured him that the rattling might settle down. It never stopped, and he ended up selling the car for half its market value. Hi, I'm Hasnain, and we created Okayker to make sure no one ever has to go to this complicated jumble of process to get their car fixed. Okayker is a digital platform connecting customers, mechanics, and part suppliers to serve as a one-stop solution for everyone in this market. Let me show you how it works. We start with our in-house technicians that we bring onto our platform and they undergo regular training. We also onboard workshops, part suppliers, which bid for orders sent to them, which means that we always have the best prices in the market. Now, let's say a customer gets into a car accident. Register and book a diagnosis. Once that is done, this order falls onto our proprietary ERP, Okayker, which assigns a guru to the order. Gurus can track their orders via their Guru app. Once the guru reaches your location, they perform a comprehensive check and report back to the core. Workshops and part suppliers are sent a bidding request and enter their best prices. Okayker is built on a digital repository of parts, engines, and vehicles, which allows us to efficiently generate the final quotation in under 3 hours. Once the customer approves the quotation, the car is picked up and the work is completed. We take care of the end-to-end process while you focus on more important things. The aftermarket automotive industry in Pakistan is worth $3 billion and has been growing 10% year on year for the last 14 years. Okayker provides the repairs at the most competitive prices in the market, while providing end-to-end convenience and transparency of a manufacturer's workshop. I've worked at Pakistan's leading startups where I led cross-functional projects which focus on optimizing operations. At Kareem, Pakistan's largest ride-share startup, which has closed over $750 million in funding, I helped increase trip volume by almost 2x in 6 months and drove a 30% reduction in fleet incentives. At Daraz, Pakistan's #1 e-commerce platform backed by Rocket Internet and acquired by Alibaba, I led the project to reduce logistics costs across 5 businesses. My co-founder Nashid, it comes from a family which has been trading auto parts for the last 60 years. His work with his family business gives him acute insight into the industry, which serves as the backbone of Okayker. He set up arguably Pakistan's first just-in-time logistics startup, which he later exited, and led the launch of the bikes vertical for Careem across 12 cities in Pakistan. Our CTO, Azjar, has led projects from Pakistan to New Zealand for both public organizations as well as private entities. He has built 6 products which have scaled to over 1 million users. In the year since we've launched, we have over 100 part wholesalers on our platform operating on a revenue share model, as well as 100 workshops who partner with us and also procure from the platform. As a result, we have been able to close over 2,500 paying car owners. We also serve over 50 B2B clients, including the top 5 insurance providers of Pakistan, one of the largest logistics providers of Pakistan, and car buying and selling platforms. Today, we have over $50,000 in monthly GMV.